Good afternoon and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay on this afternoon. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. So, like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those good things, okay? All of those good things, okay? I wanted to talk about the officers in the Tyree Nichols case, okay? And I'm sitting here, I'm looking for a video, and I don't see it. I see where the Shelby County District Attorney drops 30 to 40 cases worked by officers charged in the Tyree Nichols case. It looks like it's conflicting because I was looking at another news channel and they were saying that it was 100. No, they said 30. Okay, they said 30. So it's 30 to 40, okay, cases. And I want to go to this because I know people say I don't talk about this all the time, okay? But I want to talk about this today, okay? That's the district attorney, and he got his people behind him. Um, It says the Shelby County District Attorney's Office said on Thursday they dropped 30 to 40 cases worked by officers charged in the death of Tyree Nichols. The DA's office said around 100 cases shared between the officers were reviewed, at least 30 cases were dismissed, and charges were reduced in about a dozen cases. The cases were worked by former Memphis police officers Tadarius Bean, Emmett Martin, the third, Justin Smith, Desmond Jr., and Demetrius Haley. Um, all five officers were fired for their involvement alongside a sixth officer, Preston Hempfield, who was later fired on in the investigation. The five were also charged with second-degree murder, aggravated assault, kidnapping, and official misconduct in the death of 29-year-old Tyree Nichols. It says Memphis police claimed that there was a confrontation, and the one man who was later identified as Nichols ran away from the scene as MPD tried to take him into custody. They claim another confrontation happened, but Nichols was eventually taken into custody. Afterwards, the suspect complained of having shortness of breath, at which time an ambulance was called to the scene, and an MPD tweet said about the traffic stop. Police said Nichols was taken to St. Francis Hospital. He died 3 days later, sparking national outrage and demands for police reform. The 29-year-old father loved skateboarding and all of that. Okay, we've read that before. Okay, rest in peace to Tyree Nichols. Okay, and I'm looking at another screen, and it's basically saying the same thing. And I think it's something, that I'm happy that they've gone through and, looked at some of those cases. They reviewed some of those cases. They are not investigators. So they've looked at more than likely arrest tickets and things of that nature, because I do know that officers can embellish and flat out put fake charges on you also. So, in order for them to be dropping charges, I would hope it is because I would hope that it is because um, that they actually saw where there needed to be charges dropped, and they're not doing it for political reasons to allow criminals that should be in jail back out on the street. Um, what they did to Tyree Nichols was wrong. And I'm not saying, and I'm sure that they have embellished on some tickets. I'm sure that they have on some arrest tickets. Um, but I would hope that they're doing it because of that, and not because of it's election season and they're working together to try to make some situations look good, and they're letting people, making it easier for people that really should be in jail to be put back out on the street. Now, I'm not going to go off and start cussing in this video because I know people tend to come over here and think that they can run me. Okay. Um, you know, people have an issue with me saying that I don't believe that all police officers are bad. I don't. I'm not a criminal. I'm not a scammer. I'm not a killer. I'm not a setup girl. I'm not that. So I don't really have issues with police other than when they do corruption. I understand that we have to have good police officers, not like the ones that did this to Tyree Nichols, but good ones. And I've been watching the way that that district attorney has been moving, and he's been letting a lot of criminals out, and so it's kind of scary to me. I've been watching them very closely, okay, because district attorneys have 8 years. Okay, so I've been watching it very closely because I don't want to see him messing up as it relates to just letting criminals out. I see he kind of walks on a tightrope, because I know he has a machine behind him. Because he did say now, when he was talking about utilizing the death penalty and things of that nature, there was a lot of people outraged, right? And with Zeke, now I know a lot of people have a difference of opinion as it relates to Zeke. I have heard from people that knew Zeke that he always had mental illnesses, but he was not really violent. He was just a little off. Okay. Um, and so he yeah, he was just a little off. And then he ended up, um taking some bad drugs or something, and he flipped out and he went and he took out all them people, which is unfortunate. Rest in peace to them. Um, I think I want for Zeke to pay for what he did, but I think I have as for me, I have mixed emotions about the death penalty. Zeke, eh, I don't have issues with him getting life in prison, but I have um mixed emotions about the death penalty as it relates to him, simply because I was told that he was given some bad drugs and it caused him to flip out. I know a lot of people say he was mad and he was talking about, something had happened to somebody that was killed that he loved or whatever, and that's why he did that. And they felt like he knew what he was doing. Okay, well, some people their opinions are different, but I don't have a problem with him getting life in prison. I just have an issue, I guess, with the death penalty because he was given some bad drugs, right? Um, yeah, I be wanting for people who whose mind was not altered, okay, who put hits on people, who freely put hits on people, okay, who feel like that it's okay to put a bag on somebody when they get mad. Um, those who get on their social medias and brag about it, okay. I be wanting them to get the death penalty. I ain't gonna tell no lies. Those that's in their right mind that think that they're smarter than everybody else or that their money makes them God and nobody can be great. Um, you know, they get jealous. They want to put a bag on them. They want to harm. Those are the ones I want to get the damn death penalty. Okay. So what I feel is just a little bit different than what somebody else may feel, right? I be gunning for them to get the death penalty. Okay. Because I know those are destroyers for real. That could be anybody. You get mad at me, you say my name, I'm putting a bag on you, bitch. You got to go to the death chair. Okay. See, that would change that energy if they knew that they was going to that death chair, and it needs to be all the way up in 50 states. Okay. So they can't catch nobody in a certain state, or they on vacation enjoying their family. Because see, they like to get people around holidays, when they're laxed and they're happy, because normally people's energy is different during the holidays. They're happier. They're more relaxed because it's supposed to be the happiest time of the year. If you notice, a lot of rappers, quite a few of them was killed around the holidays because a lot of times their guards are down, right? Their guards are down around that time, and it's a damn shame that a sicko feel like, yeah, it's we get them around the holidays. You know, they out shopping with their kids for some, or they want for their kids some Christmas toys. Those are the types of people that I want to get the death chair. Okay, those that are in their right minds that sit down and plot to take somebody out because they got an issue with them or just because somebody paying them some money. Okay, that'll stop these niggas for doing anything for some breadcrumbs. Okay, that's what I be wanting. But I'm glad, hopefully, they went and relooked at these situations and they actually found where there were some issues with some of those police reports. And that is the reason why they reduced those charges and they ain't doing it for political reasons. I don't know how I feel about that district attorney because he moves a little funny. He moves a little funny. You know, I be getting work from the DA's office, okay? But trust me, they got so many cases, they gotta have us, okay? Um, but he moves a little funny. He moves a little funny, and it leads me to believe that somebody is controlling him. He moves based on what he's told to do, and that's a real dangerous thing. Okay. But as far as those officers, I would like to see them get a whole lot of time in prison. What they did to Tyree was it was excessive force. It was very unnecessary. They was just mad at Tyree because he made them chase him, not knowing that he was running from them because they were scared. People ask me, do you think it was mistaken identity? No, absolutely not. I think they just got mad at him, just like most officers do, when suspects or people he wasn't a person of interest. They just pulled him over. For whatever reason, I don't know. I guess they needed something to do. And I think he got scared of them and ran. And, um, you know, they got mad at him and they used excessive force. And that's unfortunate. So I think that they should be punished to the extent for what they did. I do. An example should be made out of them also. Okay, that you cannot just use excessive force. It didn't take all of them for one person. It did not. Tyree Nichols didn't even weigh that much. You cannot just use your power. A lot of these officers, I used to say this all the time, their asses was beat up in high school. And that's the real mean ones you see that's low down, that's mean and dirty. They got their asses tore out the frame in school, and they went through the academy to try to get some revenge. Okay, and a lot of them, women like men in uniform. I don't know what they think they can do for them because most police officers got about 12 or 13 damn kids. I ain't trying to crack on all the police officers, okay? Because I got a lot of friends that are police officers, but they know I'm telling the truth. Okay, I don't know what they think a patrolman can do for them other than, I guess, not give them a ticket because once they write it, they can't take it back. It takes the lieutenant to do that. And they don't do that oftentimes. Okay, but some of them become police officers for that, to be able to get them a girlfriend because women like men in uniform. And then I would have to say the majority becomes police officers to protect and serve because at one time it really was a good job. Okay, I know people gonna get mad at me for saying why she say the majority because I wanted to, because I worked for the police department. It's impossible for every damn human being to be the same, just like all these damn scammers and set up folks on YouTube. I ain't that. I'm a YouTuber. I don't do that. You can't put me in that category. So we can't do that with police officers. Okay, we can't do that. Just because it's pedophiles on YouTube, I can't say every man on YouTube is a pedophile because I know some that are. I'm not one. So we can't group everybody together. It ain't fair. Okay. But I hope the DA is doing this for the right reason. I do. I sincerely hope that the DA is doing this for the right reason. Okay. But anyways, I wanted to shed light on that. Rest in peace to Tyree Nichols, and I really I want for his. I hope that I know it's something that his mother would never truly get over, but I sure be praying for his mother because I would hate to see anybody. I'm a mother. I don't think any parent should have to go through that, especially at the hands of law enforcement officers that are supposed to be protected and serving. And then she turned around and had a lot of these supposed to be leaders, of the black community take advantage of her. All this black on black crime, you never see Al Sharpton in them. But the moment they saw a case, I ain't seen the vice president since. Have y'all? I hadn't seen her since she scammed and swindled all these black women to wearing them damn pearls, them chucks and pearls. I ain't putting none around my neck because I knew she wasn't gonna be shit. Okay, I knew she wasn't gonna do right. I knew that they were swindling us then. Okay, but I hadn't seen her since then. I saw her at Tyree Nichols' funeral because they wanted to take advantage of a bad situation to get publicity. Shit like that makes me real angry. Okay. And then ain't nobody seen her since. Is she breathe? Is she alive? I ain't seen her. Maybe y'all have. I haven't. And I look at the TV all the time and the internet too. I don't see her. What has she done for the black community? Is she doing anything? Because she made her career off of overly charging black men that could not afford attorneys. Okay, that's how she getting convictions on them that could not afford paid attorneys. Y'all know the public defender's office ain't gonna do a damn thing for them. I'm not saying all of them shouldn't have went to jail. I'm just saying that's how she built her career. Okay. So the last I heard, her and Biden was working on another bill that was similar to that three strikes bill. And at this point, because I be loving black men, but at this point they done lost it. They done flipped out. They taking out everybody in our community. So at this point, but see, the problem with that is they're not making that bill to get the real criminals that need to be got. They want to go and get productive black men like they did with him and Bill Clinton. You know, the one y'all said y'all first black president, when him and Bill Clinton helped to write that bill up. Biden was with them on that and got all them productive black men in jail on that three strike bill for misdemeanors and stuff. And a lot of them still in jail. He the highest official in the land. Why don't he let them men go? Okay, but he can't do that because they making up another bill to get the rest of them. Because see, they got to get the black men that's productive, that'll work, that'll put money into the system. Their families will work to try to get them lawyers that's gonna pay for commissary, telephone. You don't want the ones that ain't doing nothing. Nobody really give a damn about them. They can't pay for telephone. They're not gonna pay for commissary. They might not have family that's gonna be constantly putting money into the system to fight. So they don't want them. They want a productive black man that might be smoking a little weed or selling a little weed. Because ain't nobody should be in jail for weed. I'm just tell you that right now since it's legal. Okay. Everybody that they got on that three strike bill for on that three strikes bill for selling weed ought to be out. Okay, but they ain't gonna do it like that since they've made it legal. Okay, because really the only reason why they did that three strikes bill not to stop crime but to stop the drug dealers. Okay, because y'all know Little Rock, Arkansas is the neighboring really the Arkansas is the neighboring state to Memphis, Tennessee. Little Rock, Arkansas, that's what Bill Clinton was the governor at one time before he became the president, is about 2.5 hours away. I be up that way all the time doing cases, okay, around Pine Bluff. And the only reason why he really did that three strikes bill, because at the time, Bill Clinton's brother was one of the biggest drug dealers in Arkansas, and him too. Okay. So, of course, you get the black men who ain't committing heinous crimes, which what they should have been getting. Anybody committing the heinous crime, you get those that's out there selling drugs to take their competition and put them in jail, and that's what they did. But black people said that was the first black president because he played a saxophone. I tell you, our people need some help. But anyways, rest in peace to Tyree Nichols, and I hope that this district attorney is doing this for the right reason. Okay. I hope I hope that they actually looked at this and saw where these people on these arrest tickets were overly charged. And of course the charges would need to be reduced and some things thrown out if they saw that there was something that was wrong. If the guidelines were not followed, if they were overly charged, if there was something not right. Okay. I agree with that, but I sure don't agree with nothing that might be being done for political reasons and people that should be in jail being let back out on the street. Okay, no. Because even though what they did to Tyree Nichols was wrong, absolutely 100%. Okay. It don't mean that every arrest that they made um was a bad arrest. Okay. That's why I say I hope that, and I don't know any of the officers. I hope that this is being done for the right reasons, okay? And the wrong people, charges are not being dropped for the wrong people to be, because Memphis is already too crime infested, right? Um, and I know they do stuff for political reasons. They take opportunity to try to make themselves look good because the crime is happening in the Black community. Okay. So they don't really give a damn about letting people back out on the street that's committing heinous crimes and things of that nature. Okay. They don't, because it's not going to affect their community. It's going to affect the Black community. And they know it. Okay. But anyways, rest in peace to Tyree Nichols, and I justice for him. I do want the officers to be they're charged, and I do want them to get some jail time. Y'all got to watch that too. You got to watch this too. I don't think that they should get a tap on the wrist. I want them to get some time. Okay. I want them to get quite a bit of time, a whole lot of time. Okay. Because that was absolutely unnecessary what they did to him. Very heartbreaking. Nobody should have had to endure that. Okay. But anyways, I wanted to report on that, you guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. I love you guys. I'll talk with you later.